What it do, family and friends? Welcome back to the Church of Black Power. If you're not subscribed yet, go ahead and hit that subscribe button along with the notification bell so you can be notified whenever videos like this drop. Make sure you're hitting that like and share button so we can go ahead and beat up the algorithm so we can get this message out to the ears that need to hear. And if you have not done so yet, please go into the description, click that link to change.org and put your name, signature on the petition for reparations. And with that being said, family, upholding white supremacy is a group sport. Just like black empowerment is a group sport. And last week, O.J. Simpson passed away. Excuse me. I don't know why that didn't come up. O.J. Simpson passed away. And ever since then, you've been seeing this whole uproar about how he did it and all this other stuff. And I'm not here to present any new information because we already know he didn't do it. There's so much information out there, from Nicole actually being in with the Colombian cartel to her being a hypersexual woman, to, her friend actually being unalived in the same manner that her and Mr. Goldman was, with the Colombian necktie. But I'm not here to go over all of that. What I'm here to go over is the way white supremacy do not care about the facts of any case. The only fact that they want to uphold is white supremacy. I'm right and I say so. I'm white and I say so. And that's what we're seeing here. You're seeing a lot of people coming out just talking a bunch of nonsense and saying they're white and they say so. No matter how much evidence is put before them, it's the same thing. I'm white and I say so. So what I found myself doing is actually going after people and letting them know how much of a hypocrite they are in this situation. Because what we know is that he was deemed innocent in the court of law. He was deemed not guilty in the court of law. However, white supremacists have that vendetta whenever something happens to white supremacists. Whenever white supremacists deem that they don't get the justice that they deserve, they hold a grudge. And the lamestream media has been holding a grudge for over 30 years. This case happened when I was 4. Well, I was 4? Hold on. No, it happened in 1994. So, no, this happened when I was 9. Yes, this happened when I was 9. Excuse me. And I distinctly remember the way people, like, it was so many different people that was happy that this man got a non-guilty plea. But majority of that was due to the fact that the situation with Rodney King had just happened like a year beforehand. Right? And I'm from Los Angeles, so I can remember how people was reacting. Now, when the civil suit came along, and then they deemed him responsible for her death, for some reason, people love to bring that up as if that is proof enough of him killing her. Because he wrote a book that his children egged him on to do, said, you know what, gonna get that money. Because he wrote a science fictional book, they tried to take that and use that as an excuse to say that he actually did it. So I started coming from different angles on this and started calling these white supremacists out for the hypocrites and the bigots that they are. And I've told several people, it's fascinating to me. It's fascinating to me that all of a sudden you're a criminal specialist, you're a criminal investigator, you're a crime scene investigator, you're a legit detective. All of a sudden you got your Batman cape on. But when you see injustices happen in your face in 4K, oh, you just got to trust the whole justice system. When you see it happening literally in 4K, you just got to trust the justice system. So when you start bringing up people like, excuse me here, Darren Wilson, who unalived our brother Mike Brown, oh, you just supposed to, believe and accept the verdict. Trust the justice system. Trust the justice system. When you bring up Zimmerman, oh, you just got to trust the justice system. Accept the verdict. When you bring up Derek Chauvin, you got to trust the justice system. Accept the verdict. Even though in 4K, we watched this man lynch the man right before our very eyes. Trust the justice system. Trust the verdict. Breonna Taylor's unalivers. Miles Cosgrove. Brett Hankerson. Jonathan Mattingly. All who got off after unaliving our sister, Breonna Taylor. Trust the justice system. Trust the verdict. But then, when it comes to OJ, when it comes to any black person, everything must be picked apart with a fine-tooth comb. And people want to say, well, it's all about her children and getting justice for her children. If that was the case, then you would actually go through the actual evidence of the case and you would come to the exact same conclusion. When Cochran's team, the Dream Team, was putting forth these theories and connections to the Colombian drug cartel, oh, that wasn't able to be admitted. When one of the neighbors said that she saw 4 men coming out of that house, 2 napkins, and 2 Hispanics. Oh, they had to discredit her to make sure she could not bring that information forward. But people like to overlook these type of things. You know why? Because it's not about the justice. It's about upholding white supremacists and upholding white supremacist tactics. It has absolutely nothing to do with getting justice for her or her children. Because all the children that are literally unalived in people's faces in 4K, they don't go this hard about getting justice when it comes down to us whatsoever. And this isn't even about OJ. OJ is a proxy for the black community. And that's what Johnny Cochran understood. And that's why the whole case became about race, because the whole department was racist. And they admittedly told people that they were racist. The Rampart scandal literally was about racism, targeting black men in Los Angeles. But the white supremacists will have you to believe that was a black situation. It was black and white officers who were arrested in that situation, who was running the department. What was the culture of the department? It was anti-black racism. And this is exactly what you see amongst most departments. Anti-black racism. Left and right. So that has to be called out. None of these other times where you all out here trying to pull up evidence or go through the evidence and find different reasons to say that man is guilty. Those men are guilty. Especially when they look like you. Especially when they're doing your bidding as white supremacists, race soldiers. You don't hear any of that. It's trust the justice system. Trust the verdict. Well, we don't have a perfect justice system, but you know what? God dang it, he got his day in court. This situation shows you the hypocrisy of the whole ordeal. So, out of the hypocrisy, you now have OJ's executor of his estate saying he won't be fighting the payout of the $33.5 million judgment to Brown and Goldman's families. Let's get into this article, family. Attorney Malcolm Laverne, who was named the executor of O.J. Simpson's estate, backtracked on the previous comment saying that he will fight efforts from the family of Nicole Brown Simpson and Ron Goldman to collect payouts from the $33.5 million judgment that was previously awarded to them. I can tell you in advance, Fred Goldman, Ron Goldman's father, claims will be accepted, Laverne told Kevin Dolock of the Hollywood Reporter, And his claim will be handled in accordance with Nevada law. The attorney also said he will be hyper transparent and show my homework. Okay? When it comes to Simpson's estate, who died Wednesday. Simpson was charged with the murder of Brown, who was his ex-wife and Ron Goldman in 1994, but was controversially found not guilty during the criminal trial. Controversially found not guilty. Like I said, it wasn't really controversially. It didn't become controversial until the media made it controversial. However, a civil jury found him liable for wrongful death in 1997. ESPN noted Simpson had not paid the lion's share of the civil judgment that was awarded in 1997 upon his death. ESPN also pointed out Fred Goldman said, "The hope for true accountability has ended after Simpson died." Well, sir, that's bull stuff. Because if you really wanted accountability, you would be forcing the LAPD to actually do their job, reopen the case, and relook at the case. But that's not what you want. You just wanted to jump on the bandwagon and get money out of this man, and you wasn't even talking or speaking with your son during the time of his death. Like, they were not on good terms. But this is just another way to get the bag, going after the estate the same way those two little crooked, decrepit napkin stains tried to go after Michael Jackson's estate after he passed away with Oprah's help. Prior to his latest comment, Laverne told Caitlin Newberg of the Las Vegas Review-Journal, "It's my hope that the Goldsmen get zero, nothing, them specifically. And I will do everything in my capacity as the executor or personal representative to try and ensure that they get nothing." And that's what you should be doing. That's what you should be doing. All of that should be going to their children. If his children can't sue them for speaking about a dead man, then the dead man shouldn't be able to get sued for something that has nothing to do with their children, the estate in itself. Yet he told Dolock he no longer stood by those comments. Within an hour of knowing that OJ died, he started talking S-H-I-T. My advocate instincts were, oh, you're going to keep talking S-H-I-T? You're going to keep shitting on? Let me just put it out there. You're going to keep shitting on him after he's dead, he said? Fine. You know, you get nothing. And so those were the remarks then. But I backtracked, and they were pretty harsh remarks. And now I'm going in the other direction. Well, he had pretty harsh remarks for OJ, even though OJ was literally deemed innocent. He was deemed not guilty. So you got to worry about remarks to a living man, but you don't have to worry about the remarks made to the man who passed away when that man has children as well. Oh, but they don't do this for everybody. They only target black folks when they do this. And I don't care if OJ said, I'm not black, I'm OJ. He was still a black man. Still a black man. The media never stopped treating him like he was a black man, nor did the law enforcement. The Simpson family announced Thursday that the former NFL player died at the age of 76 and succumbed to his battle with cancer. In addition to the criminal and civil trials regarding the murders of Brown and Goldman, he was found guilty of armed robbery and conspiracy to kidnap in October 2008. And that was such a stretch. Going in to take his memorabilia, okay, I can understand the robbery part. But it belonged to him. He was eventually discharged from parole in December 2021 after being released from prison for 4 years earlier. On the field, Simpson was the 1968 Heisman Trophy winner at USC and number one overall pick of the 1969 NFL draft. That's how far back he goes back. And then it came out that his body was deteriorating when the so-called murder happened in the first place. So he wouldn't even have the physical capacity to do these things. Hell, he didn't have the time frame. They say he did all this in the 25-minute time span. And got to the dang airport to catch his flight back to Chicago on time. So he had to unalive 2 people, change his clothes, and speed to the airport to catch his flight. Get through all of TSA, and even then, back then, it was not no easy feat to just walk through the dang airport. You have to do all of that in 25 minutes and have no defensive wounds on him. No type of wounds on him. But both bodies had defensive wounds on them. He played 9 seasons for the Buffalo Bills and 2 for the San Francisco 49ers during his Hall of Fame career. Family, white supremacy, uphold white supremacy. No matter what the evidence show, no matter what the situation is, they will continue to go after black men regardless of the fact. They've been doing it to Chris Brown all this time. Every year they bring up Chris Brown. They will not let that go. But when you look at Dana White, they ain't even mentioning that situation. He ain't lost one endorsement. He haven't lost one endorsement. Getting caught in 4K slapping his wife up. He's not being investigated for domestic abuse, even though there's been several claims of domestic abuse. His mother even called him out for his domestic abuse. But Dana White don't go through the same problem as Chris Brown, and Chris Brown was like a 19-year-old kid. So family, don't let these folks come up in here and act like they care about her family and care about her getting justice. They don't care about none of that, family. They don't care about none of that. What they care about is upholding the system of white supremacy, upholding a lie that white supremacy has made billions of dollars off of. Billions of dollars have been made through the media, book deals, documentaries, etc., etc., etc. So don't let nobody come to you and tell you no nonsense. Because that's all it is nonsense. Upholding white supremacy. And with that being said, family and friends, if you're not subscribed, go ahead and hit that subscribe button along with the notification bell so you can be notified when videos like this drop. Please make sure you're hitting that like and share button so we can beat up the algorithm so we can get this message out to the ears that need to hear. And if you have not done so yet, please go ahead and hit that link in the description, and make sure you put your signature on the petition for reparations. Leave a comment. Let me know what you think, what you've been hearing. How have you been responding to these napkin folks trying to sit there? You know OJ's guilty. Well, you know Darren Wilson's guilty. You know George Zimmerman is guilty. You know Derek Chauvin is guilty. You know all these men that was connected: Miles Cosgrove, Brett Hankerson, Jonathan McInerney. You know all of these people are guilty because you've seen it in 4K. The difference between all of these situations and OJ's is that you didn't see nothing. You wasn't there, and you keep on mixing and messing up the evidence. And inventing new evidence out of nowhere after 30 years. With that being said, the doors of the church are now closed. Peace, family.